Industrial Revolution drove people from suburbs to the center of the cities. We can look at the left corner of the picture. It says US population is increasingly urban. If we look at 1800, the bar was less than 10, and if we look at the highest bar, it's above 300, and the units is millions of people. Even compared to 1960s, if we look at the right upper corner, those two circles like pies, like green pies, and we can see since 1960, the urban population almost doubled. The land used to be a farmland. If we look at the left bottom figure, the two figures, and now the farming land was converted to houses, very dense housing area. So, what is urban sprawl? I definitely require you to understand this concept. Urban sprawl is a spread of low-density auto-dependent development on rural land outside compact urban centers. It's like when we say sprawl, that's like spontaneous, right? And not planned growth. So this is the constant loss of the farmland around the city or the natural area. So two practices that have contributed to urban sprawl are zoning ordinances that isolate employment and shopping services away from housing locations. So when we isolate our workplace with our living and shopping place, we need a lot more space. And the low-density planning aimed at creating automobile access to increasing expenses of land. It's probably not the same all over the world, but it's definitely true in this metropolitan area. Accessibility to the roads are very important to people. And in Houston, we all spread out. So we need more space to construct highways, even the small roads. So those two practices cause the consequences of urban sprawling. If we look at picture A, that's wealthy suburbs. Those people have a lot of space and a lot of land, a lot of freedom, a lot of natural space. And the B picture shows the importance of the road. The road caused the sprawling. You can see all the houses line up the roads. And C and D showed the very dense housing area. And we're building more of them around the city. And we will explore the downside of the urban sprawling pretty soon. So what factors that contribute to sprawl? One is lifestyle, as I mentioned, increase of material possessions, increase of wealth, increase the desire of people pursuing their own freedom, their own comfort, and their own free lifestyles, particularly automobile and homes. Economic reason. Building on agricultural land is less expensive than to build within established cities. So it's cheaper to build house around the city in those cheaper lands than changing, reconstructing, innovating the central area of the cities, and tax laws encourage home ownership. And other factors are lack of coordination, as I mentioned in the early phase of this chapter, and many cities have hundreds of political jurisdictions. And the zoning ordinances prohibit land use mixing. And the government subsidizes the development of decentralized cities. And the federal and the state governments have not supported public transport in the equivalent way. Now let's look at the map on the right side, the world's largest cities in 2015. What is megacity? Megacity has more than 10 million population. And what is metacity? Metacity has more than 20 million people. Those cities are big cities, have very high populations. And from the world map, we can see most of the cities are in Asia, and we have a few in North America, South America, and Australia. As I said, most of the cities in Asia, Europe, and we have several in Africa also. If you want to check out more details, go to the textbook page 279, and it gives you a very good summary of those cities. And this is how people live in those cities. Now I want to ask you a question. Do you think they still come to the cities if they know they live like this? Some do, and some probably do not. And I also want to ask you another question. What reasons do you think they come to the cities for? I give you a few seconds. They probably pursue better employment opportunities, right? Better cultural opportunity. They want a better life, want to earn more money. And unplanned urban design like this certainly is not what we wanted. So, what problems we see in those pictures in the slums of mega and meta cities? So the problems associated with unplanned growth, I use megacities and metacities as extreme examples. Those problems are death of the central city, higher infrastructure and energy costs, loss of open space and farmland, pollutions, floodplain problems, wetlands misuse. So there's a lot of problems can result from unplanned growth. First is the transportation problems. I don't think I need to spend a lot of time on this. We live in this every day. In Los Angeles, 70% of the city's surface area dedicated to automobiles. And this is a picture of the very congested traffic. And I believe we live like this before the virus pandemic every day. So the death of the central city, of course, the megacity and the metacity probably not apply to this case. But in a lot of cities, because of the population shift away, the center of the city becomes dead.